Three homages. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Namo Buddhas, Namo Buddhas, Namo Buddhas, Namo Buddhas.
Welcome everyone to our Bodhi Day service. We are so happy and honored that you would make the trip on this snowy, slippery morning. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you to those tuning in at home. It's always good to just be together in however manner we can be together. So this is an auspicious service celebrating the Buddha's enlightenment. We will begin by chanting our invocation this time. If you look on your order of service, it's called the Zen Shokata, and it is in the Shoshinge book that you will find in the seat back pocket in front of you or slightly behind you on page 47. And so we're invoking all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to be present with us today for this very special Buddhist holiday. Then we'll go into the Shoshinge after that. And for those of you who are new, our Shoshinge is written in the classical Japanese form, and you read the columns vertically from right to left. So don't go across like we read English, because you'll instantly get lost. So, and it's okay to just sit and listen and absorb the positive vibrations of the chant too, if you get confused. Totally fine. So as we offer incense, it is in gratitude to the infinite wisdom and compassion that supports us 24/7. So, Amida Buddha. So as you come up to offer incense, and everyone is welcome to do that, please just do that in gratitude to everything that supports you in your life. And we look forward to having this service of all ages. Our order of service is slightly different. We don't have Dharma school today, so we'll all be together and enjoying the Buddha's Enlightenment service, as well as a special new member ceremony, welcoming our new members. Okay. Thank you so much. Zensho Kada. Zensho Mi Dani Udojo O Fui Igu Ugan O Uji Anon Seishi Jinja May the spiritual presence of Amida Buddha, Kannon, and Seishi Bodhisattvas, and all enlightened ones, past, present, and future, permeate this hall to send forth wisdom like flower petals falling from the sky to awaken those of us gathered. Namo Bumps, Namo Bumps, Namo Bumps. Shoshinge Kimyo Muryo Junyorai Namu Fukashigi Ko Hozo Bosai Niji Zai Seiji Zai Obusho Token Shobu Jodoin Kokudo Ninden Shizen Maku Konryu Mujo Shushogan Choho Keiu Daiguze Gokoshi Yuishi Shoju Jusei Myosho Monji Po Fuho Muryo Muhenko Muge Mutai Ko Enno Shoujo Kangi Chie Ko Fudan Nanshi Mushoko
超日が交渉人生一切群上無交渉本願用語症状語死心信用願に因上等学章大涅槃非死滅の願成就如来所意公修正唯生弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会往生如来如実言の一年喜愛心普段本の特涅槃本性逆法再永入領主死入海一味聖主信仰上昇後意の水波無明暗東内心臓死運無上不信じ信心天異尿に幸福運無運無死芸妙無暗逆心謙虚大狂気祖父を超税後悪臭一切全幕本部人門心如来偶税願仏願広大小芸者税人名踏んだりけ弥陀部本願念部邪見教魔なく修上信行十字人理難難中死難昔インド祭天四論芸中華自治域思考素現代諸公聖書意如如来本税大き釈迦如来両河線一種五妙難天軸流樹大事主と性質の財派有無権先世大乗無情報召喚議事小安楽賢治難行六六信行異行指導楽億年弥陀部本願次年即時入場唯の上昇如来語法大悲偶税音天神菩薩増論性奇妙無下公如来永主ただ謙信寺高専王朝大聖願こういう本願力栄光異道群上小維心非入空毒大崩壊筆略入大永修修特使蓮華造世界即昇進用法昇進有本の人間人図入生自用自用芸本自動乱両天地上皇乱症菩薩来三蔵ル四十上教本性専業気楽法天神菩薩論中芸報道因果見世願方言栄光有他力症状死因唯心人惑前本部新人法承知承持即涅槃非死無量光明道小雨修上回復系同社継承道難所有名浄土活入万全自力変言中円満特合感染症三不三心軽音言増魔法明道非因異生増悪地偶税思案妖怪称名化全道独名無所意公愛上三両逆悪法名名語権威念開入本願大機会行者小樹金剛心狂気一年総合用意大等逆三人 即所法所市上楽見信公開一大教偏気安養官二祭先祖終身反戦人法慶二道小弁流極重悪人類勝負火薬剤非正集中煩悩証言水不見大非無見上昇が本次元空妙仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書後編集戦弱本願具悪性現来生じ臨伝芸慶地義上位少子即入弱上無意楽非知心地に納入不教大自主使徒上妻無変六辱悪同族自主愚道心唯過心しこそせナムアミダハブナムアミダハブナムアミダハブナムアミダブナムアミダハブナムミダジョブのこの方は今に自己をへたまえりほしんのこうりえぬきわもな悪せのもみょうを照らすなりえこ何にしくどく平等聖祭同法菩提心往生
Morning, everyone.
Good
Everybody
morning.
hear me? Good. This morning's reading is the Maha Agivesana Sutra, the longer discourse to Agivesana. Thus I have heard, on one occasion, the Buddha and Venerable Ananda were staying near Vesali at the Gabled Hall in the Great Forest Monastery. They were preparing to go into the town to receive donations of food. A Jain man called Agivesana was walking and wandering to exercise his legs. He saw the Buddha near the gabled hall. Ananda remembered that Agivesana was known as a devious debater, well regarded by most people. He often disparaged the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha in his arguments. Ananda said to the Buddha, "It would be good if you could sit with Agivesana for a moment, out of sympathy." So the Buddha sat on a prepared seat and welcomed Agivesana. Sitting to one side, Agivesana said, "There are, Master Gautama, some spiritual seekers and who live committed to the development of the body, but not the mind, and they may have some mental problems. Then there are some who live committed to the development of the mind, but not the body, and they may have some physical problems. It seems your students live committed to the development of the mind, but not the body." The Buddha responded, "The cases you described just now, they do not follow the discipline of the noble ones. Since you don't understand body or mind development, listen and pay close attention. I will speak. Before my self-awakening, when I was still just a bodhisattva, I resolved to go forth into homelessness and to seek the unexcelled state of sublime peace. I searched for disenchantment, dispassion, cessation, stilling, direct knowing, self-awakening, and unbinding. I first went to Ajara Kalama and studied his Dharma. I went to Udaka Ramaputta and studied his Dharma. Then I studied on my own, wandering across the delightful countryside of Magadha. This place was just right for the striving of one intent on a great goal. I sat down thinking, this is the place. I sat in meditation and purified my mind and body. For months and years, I denied my body almost any food. I lost my place. There we are. I often denied my lungs breath. Though I made great leaps in spiritual practice, I became weak and emaciated. My skin grew yellow and black. Then I recalled the time when I was 9. My father, the Shakya King, was plowing, and I was sitting in the cool shade of a rose apple tree. Then, quite secluded and from unskillful qualities, I meditated in the rapture born of seclusion, directing thought and observation. With this memory, I realized this is the path to awakening. My body had been neglected to the detriment of my mind. So I took some solid food, some rice milk porridge, bringing strength to my practice. When I had taken solid food and regained strength, I meditated deeper and deeper again. The first jhana, rapture born of seclusion, with directed thought and observation. The second jhana, rapture born of concentration and internal assurance. The third jhana, pleasant abiding in equanimity. The fourth jhana, purity of equanimity and mindfulness. With the mind concentrated in this way, bright and unperturbed, I directed my mind to the knowledge of recalling my past lives. I recollected my many past lives from 1 birth, 2, 5, 10, 50, 100, 1,000, 100,000, living through eons of cosmic contraction, through eons of expansion, so many lives. This was the first knowledge of many lives leading to this moment that I attained in the first watch of that night. Ignorance was destroyed. Knowledge arose. With my mind concentrated and bright, I directed it to the knowledge of the nature of rebirth, the working of karma, how actions of body, speech, and mind affect birth and becoming. This was the second knowledge I attained in the second watch of the night. Ignorance destroyed, knowledge arose. With my mind concentrated and bright, I directed it to the knowledge of the path to joy. I discerned, as it had come to be, that this is dukkha, this is its origin, this is the cessation of dukkha, this is the eightfold way leading to the joyful life. My heart knowing and seeing was released from ignorance and becoming. I discerned that birth is ended, the holy life fulfilled, the task done. There is nothing further for this world. This was the third knowledge I attained in the third watch of the night. Darkness was destroyed, light arose. I recalled teaching the Dharma to many hundreds of students, and each one felt, the Buddha is teaching the Dharma just to me personally. I teach simply for the purpose of giving knowledge, and at the end of that very talk, I steady the mind inwardly, settle it in concentration as before, as I almost constantly abide. That is most credible, Master Gotama, as would be the case for one who is worthy and rightly self-awakened with mind and body balance. It is amazing and astounding, Master Gotama, as you respond to my impertinent questions. The color of his face clears, as would be the case with one who is worthy and rightly self-awakened. And now, Master Gotama, I am going. Many are my duties. Many are my responsibilities. Then, Agivesana, do what you think it is now time to do. So Agivesana, the Jain, delighted in and approving of the Buddha's words, got up from his seat and left. And the Buddha and Ananda went on alms around Vesali. We will now have a walking meditation like the Buddha did after his enlightenment. We will accompany those who want to walk with chanting. Thank you.
I can lead.
Anyone who's feeling as though the walking meditation would be good is welcome to participate. The intention was maybe if kids have been sitting for a long time, they could get up and stretch their legs like Agivasani. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamunaya Soha. 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 Om Muni Muni Mahamuni 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 Shakyamunaya soha.
Bear with us a moment. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. Emerson can hear me too. This story is called Awakened. Siddhartha's mind was calm and relaxed. As he sat under the tree, his concentration deepened and his wisdom grew brighter. In the clear and peaceful state of mind, he began to examine the nature of life. What is the cause of suffering, he asked himself, and what is the path to everlasting joy? In his mind's eye, he looked beyond his own country, far beyond his own world. Soon the sun, planets, the stars out in space, and distant galaxies of the universe all appeared in his meditation. He saw how everything, from the smallest speck of dust to the largest star, was linked together in a constantly changing pattern, growing, decaying, and growing again. Everything was related. Nothing happened without a cause, and every cause had an effect on everything else. As he saw how everything was connected in this way, deeper truths appeared in his mind. He looked deeply into himself and discovered that his life as Siddhartha the prince was but the latest in a series of lifetimes that had no beginning. And he saw that the same was true of everyone. We are born, live, and die, not one time, but again and again. He saw that death is only the separation of the mind from its present body. After death, the mind goes on to find a new body, in the same way that a traveler leaves a guest house and moves on to find another. When one life ends, another begins, and in this way, the wheel of death and birth keeps spinning around and around. He also saw that in our travels from one life to the next, we are constantly changing and constantly affecting one another. Like actors changing parts in a play, our roles change as we move from life to life. Sometimes we are rich and comfortable. Sometimes we are poor and miserable. Occasionally we experience pleasure, but more often we find ourselves with problems. And Siddhartha also saw that as our conditions change, so do our relations with others. We have all been each other's friend and enemy, mother and father, son and daughter, thousands upon thousands of times in the past. Then he looked at all of the suffering in the world. He saw how everyone, from the smallest insect to the greatest king, runs after pleasure, only to end up with dissatisfaction. We do not find what we are searching for when we are miserable, and even when we do find the pleasure we seek, it soon fades, and we have to look for something else. And he saw how living beings create their own misery, blind to the truth that everything is always changing. They lie, steal, and even kill to get the things they want, even though these things can never give them the lasting happiness they desire. And the more their minds filled with greed and hate, the more they harm each other and themselves. Each harmful action leads them to more and more unhappiness. They are searching for peace, yet find nothing but pain. Finally, he discovered the way to end all this suffering. If a person could see the truth clearly, as he himself had seen in this night, all confused, running after pleasure and running away from pain would stop. Without any more greed and hatred in our mind, we would never do anything to harm anyone else. Having overcome all the selfishness in our mind, we shall have destroyed the cause of unhappiness completely. With our hatred removed from our heart, we fill with love, and this love will bring us peace and happiness unlike anything we have ever felt. When Siddhartha had seen all this, even the last speck of darkness disappeared from his mind. He was filled with a radiant, clear light. He was no longer an ordinary person. He became fully enlightened to the truth. He was now a Buddha, a fully awakened one. He had reached his goal. With a calm and peaceful smile, he arose from his meditation. It was morning, and in the east, the sun was beginning to rise. You can return to your seats now.
We have a little gift for them, Erin.
Oh, we have a gift. I forgot. Axe.
I want to give you these little.
Afraid to move.
Thank you, Erin. So, wow, Bodhi Day. Already, it just still seems like this year went by so fast for me. But welcome to everyone, visitors and seekers, new members and longtime members. We gather here in this hall to carry forward the vision of the Buddha. Bodhisvaha, which means yay, enlightenment. The enlightenment tree is here, and we have festive flags. We decorate to express our feeling of celebration at the wonderful event. This is a place where we celebrate light, the light of wisdom, the light of Amida Buddha, the light of understanding, the light of warmth and kindness. This is a place where we celebrate all these things, the perfect place to observe Enlightenment Day. Today's special service, celebrating the enlightenment of the Buddha 2,610 years ago, when he was 35. I will reflect on these stories that we have heard, the sutra and the story. Stories about the Buddha's life. The Buddha's enlightenment is supremely important because it offers the possibility of awakening. It shows that a person did once overcome, go beyond, or let go the difficulties of life, the sickness, aging, and death, and the aloneness our selfish way of living creates. Let that go, and he came to be in the realm of serenity and joy. That means that every one of us can, because one of us has. So, we can find that joy, and that's wonderful. The Buddha encourages us to express our full potential as sentient beings with the fabulous gift of consciousness that we enjoy. We can make skillful choices in life, and we can follow the Buddha's lead. I need to pause and request the delivery of some peppermint sauce. It's peppermint oil, but I usually keep it carefully tucked in my sleeve. But I hooked a doorknob the other day on my sleeve, and it tore open. So now if I put it in there, it just falls on the ground. So. The Buddha recognized that all beings are a bit confused and deluded. We need to think that we are the authors of all the parts of our life, in spite of almost constant evidence that that is not actually the case. Though we may suspect the truth of interdependence and oneness, it is the self, personified often in the Enlightenment story as Mara. The self wants to think at least someone is in control of everything. But what if everything is a vast matrix of causes and conditions, interwoven and interlinked? What if our life and our experience of life is a narrow glimpse of that matrix, of the network of everythingness? But we only see a little bit. You know, it's like when you look through your hand like this. Have you ever done that? You don't see everything. What if we broaden that view? When truly open to the vastness and wisdom of our infinite web of everything, then we can joyfully experience life. Everything, everywhere, every when. The experience of a Buddha. This is the experience the Buddha offers to us. This is what he pioneered for us. So, we are here celebrating that event, that experience of the Buddha's enlightenment in 588 BCE. Only 2,610 years ago. So our dear teacher Siddhartha, at 35, I remember myself when I was 35, and I was not very, tuned into things. I had lots of strange ambitions and misguided goals. But he was absolutely focused on a wonderful and important goal that benefits all beings. He had been studying many different spiritual methods of attainment with the important teachers that we heard about in the sutra. And then he struck out on his own. He made his way to a place that we visited in 2019, Bodh Gaya. Then I think they just called it Gaya because he hadn't been enlightened yet. So it's Bodhi Gaya, actually, sort of, if you understand what that might mean. The place called Gaya where the Buddha was enlightened. He found a good shady tree, like this shady tree we have over here. He sat beneath it. See, we can see a Buddha statue there beneath the tree. And expertly used shamatha, which is calm, abiding meditation, just observing his breath to reach those deep, unified mind states called the jhanas. Siddhartha sat under the Bodhi tree and experienced a meditation that he called the space-like observation of the Dharmakaya. His laser-focused, single-pointed intent on the ultimate nature of everything was fantastic. After training in meditation for 6 years, which doesn't seem a long time, but okay, he could feel that he was very, very close to attaining full enlightenment. And so he settled himself beneath the tree and vowed not to rise from that place until he had attained perfect and complete enlightenment. With great determination, he entered this space-like observation of the Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the truth body of the universe, or we might say the true form of the universe. What it is really made of, not what it seems to be made of to us bombooning or goofballs, but what it really is made of. We can ponder that from our perspective. But the Buddha penetrated that. As dusk fell, I feel as though I'm dropping out, but okay. As dusk fell, the Mara, the Lord of Death and the chief opponent of enlightenment and understanding, the great undoer, we sometimes call him, he sensed that threat was present. His control and very existence is grounded in the suffering of other beings, this horrible Mara that we experience. When awakening is near, he tries everything to intervene and derail it. He tried to disturb Siddhartha's concentration by conjuring up many fearful apparitions. He manifested an army of terrifying demons, some throwing spears and some firing arrows and some hurtling boulders. Through the strength of his concentration, the Buddha experienced this onslaught as a gentle rain of fragrant flowers. In the first watch of the night, Siddhartha attained that deep knowledge that destroyed ignorance. A darkness in experience was destroyed. For him, light arose, as can happen for all who are aware, determined and single-minded. The pleasant feeling that arose in him did not invade his mind or remain past that moment. Mara was now enraged. He hadn't stopped it. It was still continuing. This process of enlightenment occurring for the Buddha was still continuing. But since Mara's source is the subconscious of the individual, he was very resourceful and determined, drawing on Siddhartha's own determination and creativity. When Mara saw Siddhartha could not be frightened into giving up, Mara tried instead to distract him by parading his 3 sultry daughters, Tanha, which is craving, Arati, which is aversion, and Raga, which is passion. They would dance in front of Siddhartha. The sutra says they came to him glittering with beauty, Tanha, Arati, and Raga. But the teacher was disinterested, and they melted away. In this second watch of the night, with his mind concentrated, bright, unblemished, but flexible, he directed his mind to the great knowledge he had been seeking, how to end the troubling mental formations that cause us to live without true joy. He sat and saw clearly that we live without this joy. He saw how this dukkha-filled way of being originates. He saw how to end dukkha. And he saw a 8-fold path leading to the end of joylessness. There is something missing in this sentence, but I'm okay. He saw the 4 Noble Truths and the 8-fold path, I guess would be the easy way to say that. In his heart, he knew, he saw, he was released from dukkha, or wanting, released from the pain of becoming. With this release, he felt a great sense of freedom, known only to the Buddhas. In his own words, I discerned that birth is ended, the holy life fulfilled, the task done. This is the way to joy for this world. In the third watch of the night, Siddhartha removed the final veils of ignorance from his mind, and in that moment became a Buddha, a fully enlightened being. He touched the earth with his right hand, and the earth was witness to the enlightenment. The wisdom and compassion of the universe flowed into him. That is why in that statue, that is the moment of enlightenment, you can see Siddhartha is touching the earth. The wisdom and compassion of the universe is accessible to us all. The Buddha showed us a way. The Buddha showed that all of us can reach this point. And he brought us together today in gratitude and appreciation for his wonderful awakening. So today we wish all of you Happy Bodhi Day. Let's just do that together. Happy Bodhi Day. Bodhi Swaha. Yeah. To finish, we will share the great wish of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, a great wish for all beings. We can make gasho, that's where we put our hands together like this, and repeat after me. May you be happy.
May you be happy.
May you be free from harm.
May you be free from harm.
May you receive boundless compassion.
May you receive boundless compassion.
May peace and harmony fill your heart.
May peace and harmony fill your heart.
Namo loves, Namo loves, Namo loves. But wait, usually we finish at this point, but there's an exciting new member ceremony to come.
This is one of my favoriteest things to do. Expand and grow our beautiful community here, our Sangha, with more heartfelt people seeking to step on the path of the Buddha. So it is with deep gratitude that we will now have the new member ceremony, part of our special service today. This is a semi-annual ceremony, usually held on an important Buddhist holiday, like the Buddha's birthday or Enlightenment Day. Here we formally welcome new members into the community, but you can become a member of RBC at any time of the year. As I call your name, will you please walk up to the front of the hondo to receive your specially made nenju, which are mindfulness beads, and your name tag, and a little Bodhi leaf. And then you will go over to Reverend Matthew and receive your kesa. And then please remain standing in the front. You'll see these little blue pieces of tape on the floor. Pick one of those spots. So, as I call your name, please come up. John Solomon. Welcome. Pick up whatever resonates for you, and then your name tag. And a Bodhi leaf. Thank you. Linda
John.
Siba. Welcome. Oh, good. Christina Scully. Pick a nenju, something that you love, what looks nice. And your name tag. And a Bodhi leaf. And go see Reverend Matthew. Jason Bonner. Welcome. Did I say your name right? What is it? I get it right this time. Becky Boehner. Madai. Welcome. Skylar Dillon. Welcome. Taryn Dillon. Welcome. Molly Dillon. I got the whole family. Welcome. Michael Groff. Welcome. Michelle Safa. Welcome. Thank you. Very nice. We would like to extend a very warm welcome to these new members standing here in front of us this morning. Sangha is an ancient Pali word. Those who followed the Buddha over 2,600 years ago came to be a Sangha, a Buddhist community. We are part of a worldwide community that gathers in shared inspiration for the Buddha's enlightenment. The Sangha brings the Buddhist teachings to life. This is our Sangha. Sangha is the third of the three jewels, along with the Buddha and the Dharma. It is a living embodiment of the teachings of the Buddha and all those who have come before. Please be inspired to cultivate Buddhist practices in your daily life, such as chanting the Nembutsu, calming the mind with meditation. Listen deeply to the world around you. To become comfortable with chanting, please come to Tuesday evening chanting practices. They're fun and joyful. It's an important core practice for Shin Buddhists. Learn more about the Dharma by attending our Wednesday evening book group, or enjoy the group energy of Thursday evening's Golden Light meditation. We also offer Sunday services, Sunday beginner meditation, fun events like Sangha potlucks, Dharma hikes, Dharma snowshoes, Moon Rabbit Cafe, lots of things happen here. You can participate in these things not only to benefit yourself, but so that others are not alone. You may not need it today, or you may be a bit knackered, but someone else needs you there. That is what being in Sangha is all about. As Shin Buddhists, we take refuge in the Buddha and the Dharma and our fellow spiritual travelers, our Sangha community. Becoming a Sangha member is also an opportunity to give dana. Dana could be your time, your skills, or your financial means. We practice dana, or generosity, every day. It's an exchange with a warm, open heart without expecting anything in return, just freely giving. And your Dana is a gift to this community and beyond. Let us formally welcome our wonderful new members by chanting the 3 refuges together again from our chanting book, the Shoshinge book on the last page, page 49. Buddham Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namandams, namandams, namandams. Yay, let's give everyone a round of applause. Woo! Bodhisattva, welcome. All right. Thank you very much. You may take your seat and find a copy of our Shoshinge so we can close our wonderful service with Home in the Meadow, as is our tradition. Home in the Meadow. Please stand. Thank you. Away, away, away with me, where the grass grows wild and the wind blows free. Away, away, away with me, and I'll build you a home in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow. The stars, oh how bright and far, on the world of pure and eternal love. The stars, oh how bright they'll shine, on the home we will build in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow. Thank you so much. Just a couple of announcements before we head downstairs for tea time and newcomer circle. We have our very special, important New Year's Eve service. So this has been a tradition of Shin Buddhist temples worldwide. We do a midnight service. In our tradition, it's multi-faith. So we invite other clergy in the area to come and share heartfelt messages on, this year is on gratitude. So we will have taiko drumming, which gets all the energy going. We have Native American drumming as well, and lots of positive messaging. And also the ringing of the bells, which everybody comes up and rings the temple bell to let go of something that you intentionally want to let go of. That's an obstacle for becoming enlightened. So it's a wonderful service, and you're all invited. It actually starts at 10:30 p.m., not midnight. We try to time it that we end at midnight. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's a great way to start the new year, though. It's much more wholesome than other things. So, Wonderful to have you all with us. And if you have time, please come downstairs and meet the new members and welcome them and have a treat or a cup of tea. Thank you so much. Namo Bus. Namo Bus. Namo.
There's newcomer circle downstairs. She said that. I don't know if new people heard you.
New people, there is newcomer circle also during tea time. You can gather with Reverend Matthew downstairs.